Hi, I'm Matt Snyder. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this. I know your time is valuable. And I know these days a lot of people don't have the attention span to listen to something that's more than a couple of minutes long. So again, thank you, because this is important. Now, whether you care about politics or not, you need to hear this. You know, one of the reasons that I think people are turned away from politics is, well, why should I care about something that clearly doesn't care about me? I mean, why would I give a moment's thought to an institution that is only concerned about whatever the banks and corporations and billionaires tell it to be concerned about? So I get it. This situation drives a lot of people away. But for a lot of people, this situation drives them to get involved because they know this isn't the way it should be. Now, I'm not here just to talk to the activists and the apathetic. I need to talk to everybody in between too. If you're one who just does what you do, every few years there's an election, you vote for somebody and see who wins, and then go back to doing what you do. Wherever you fall in this political spectrum, we all have one thing in common. Whether you're a Tea Party person, an Occupy Wall Street person, Republican, Democrat, Independent, we are tired of seeing this big federal government focusing on the whims of the rich, while the little guy and the Constitution itself are neglected. Now here's how it works. And for those of you who already know this stuff, I'll try to be brief. See, the federal government, if not controlled and dictated by it, it is certainly heavily influenced by money. Well, who's got the money? Well, banks and corporations, Wall Street, other governments, and just plain billionaires. These people, these institutions, they have a lot of interest in the policies, the regulations, the legislation enacted by the federal government. So they're willing to put a lot of money into making sure that the guy they want in Washington gets there and stays there for as long as possible. But they can't just pick a guy and put him in office. We're not fascists. This is a republic. They need to have their guy voted into office by the public. That's us. But how do they get us to vote for their guy? The media. Before their guy gets to our television, the media shines them up, sizes them up, and makes them presentable for us. The media take candidates and they promote them, destroy them, or totally neglect them. Now, why would they do this? Well, because MSNBC, Fox News, and every other major media outlet in America are owned by the corporations. You remember the 2008 election? That election at first was all about Hillary on the left and perhaps a Giuliani on the right. But you can't control a Giuliani. Control Hillary Clinton? So the corporate media got to work. And who did we end up with? Obama and McCain. Now most of us already know all this, so I'm not going to say any more about that. What I need to talk to you about is our candidates. Now Obama, Goldman Sachs was Obama's second largest campaign contributor in 2008. And they received over $10 billion in stimulus money during those bailouts. So we already know that Obama's bought and paid for. But I want to talk to you about our new candidates and how they relate to you. So I'm going to ask you some questions. And just keep track on your fingers. Keep a score. Have you or anybody that you know personally lost your job recently? Have you or anyone you know lost a home? If the price of fuel went up 50 cents in the next few weeks, would that cause you to have to renegotiate some things? Does it upset you that the money taken out of your paychecks for your entire life in the name of Social Security may not be there for you when you retire? Does it upset you that this nation's children are not receiving an education that is best to help them succeed here in America? Does it upset you that these children are going to be burdened with taxes to pay for the government wasteful spending that we're doing right now? Have you ever been in the hospital wondering if you're going to be able to pay for this, or if your insurance company is going to cover it. Is your job, your Social Security, your children's education, or your health care threatened by illegal immigration? Do you believe there's a solution to immigration that our politicians simply aren't pursuing? Do you believe that your tax money is being sent to provide for welfare recipients who don't really need the assistance? Now, how many fingers do you have up? 7 or 8? I got 10. These issues matter to me. These issues affect me personally, and I want these issues settled. But what about our candidates? Do you have a law degree? Have you ever been a CEO of a major corporation? Can you afford to send your children to an Ivy League school? Are you a professional career politician of more than 2 or 3 decades? Are you a millionaire? Now, these things aren't bad things. I'm just saying that these are not characteristics that best represent the majority of the people in this republic. You know, Rick Perry's life doesn't change if there's no welfare reform. Michelle Bachmann's job isn't being threatened by an illegal immigrant who will do the same work for half the price. Herman Cain isn't going to be depending on Social Security when he retires. Ron Paul probably isn't worried about his health care insurance plan. And I can assure you Mitt Romney is not worried about losing his home. Now, these things don't make these people bad people, but it does make you stop and think. We're electing a leader who is well funded by extremely wealthy entities to hopefully aggressively confront these issues that face us every day, issues that matter to us personally, issues that hurt, issues that don't really matter to them or their benefactors at all. So where does that leave us? How can we trust that our new candidates are going to be any different than the presidents that we've had for decades? And here's the big question: what can we do about it? Well, that's why I'm here. That's what I'm asking you. What will you do about it? If there were a candidate running for president right now who upheld your moral values, who believed in America the way that you believe in America, someone who actually knows what it's like to live like you do, someone who is willing to push for legislation that will make a difference in the lives of the common people, and not just legislation that allows the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer. If somebody like that were running for president, what in the world would keep you from supporting that person? I'm running for president. And there's your answer: cynicism. Your undying belief that things will never change. It's hard to fight cynicism. In fact, cynicism is what leads to apathy. Nothing's going to change, so why should you care? Why should you waste your time? But if you do think for just an instant that things could change, and you say it out loud, well, that makes all the difference in the world. Now, I'm not asking you to hit the streets and carry signs. I'm not even asking for you to tell people that I'm your favorite guy. What I'm looking for is, well, 3 things. First, if the conversation comes up, tell people that Rick or Ron or Herman or whoever is your favorite candidate. And then say, but I'm really interested in seeing what happens with Matt Snyder. And take it from there. And second, if you haven't already been there, go to my website and find out for yourself if my values are in line with yours. There's a lot of information on that site, and I guarantee you everything on there comes from me. And see for yourself that though I'm a conservative ideologically, that doesn't make me the enemy of all Democrats. Sure, in Washington, our politicians are dreadfully polarized. But here at the street level, as I said before, Republicans and Democrats, we have a lot in common. You know, we're not stupid. We know where jobs come from, and we know where roads come from. But that doesn't mean that the corporations and the government should dominate America while the customers and the constituents are neglected. And see on that website the the plans that I have laid out to address these issues, and see that I am personally affected and motivated by them. And third, I need $1. Send in $1 as a symbol of your belief that the people should be in charge. If you think a regular working guy running for the presidency is just the thing to send a message to the establishment that the people are still in charge, then send in $1. Even if you want to send 10 or 50, don't. Send me $1, because I don't want your money. I want your support. Show the people, you know what, I have to report every single cent to the FEC. So every contribution becomes public knowledge. Show the people that it matters to you. Show them that you are one of the many people in this country who still care. I'm not going to ask for hundreds of your hard-earned dollars. Times are tough. Trust me, I know. I'm just asking for a show of hands that says things can change.